Hi Year 11, Miss Paul here to talk to you about your upcoming PPEs in February. So what are these exams for? Well, they are going to be a broader test of your knowledge because you're going to have more papers per subject, as I'm sure you've seen looking at the exam timetable. They will help us as your teachers to identify where you need additional help and support, and they will also provide your predicted grades for sixth form entry. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is revision. So just a reminder that the biggest single cause of exam stress is feeling overwhelmed, and that if you plan your revision thoughtfully and manage your time, it will really help you to feel calm and in control going into your exams. The more we practice now, the easier it will be in the summer. So to give you a kind of idea of how much work you should be doing at home, you should be revising around 5 or 6 hours a day when you're not in. So that would be over half term or any days during the exam period when you don't have any exams at all. You should be looking at doing 2 or 3 hours a day revision during school, so in the next week before we break up for half term, or on a day when you have an exam during your PPEs. Make sure that you're being really specific in your planning. Don't just write history, say which particular unit or topic you're going to be revising so that you can make sure you've got everything covered before the exam. And be really honest with yourself. If you know you're not going to get up till 10, 11 o'clock, then don't plan to do anything before that. Just make sure you are using your time as best suits you. One word of caution though, don't work late into the night. Tiredness really affects memory. It has a huge effect on the amount you can remember. So your revision will be much less effective if you do it when you're tired. Make sure you're planning in your free time too. I know this is something that I always say, but it bears repeating. You will need a break. You're not machines. So if you don't plan in your free time, if you don't plan in your breaks, you will take them anyway. And all that will happen is you will end up feeling stressed and guilty about the fact you've taken time off, and the time off will have the opposite effect that you want it to. The time off should be a break for you to sort of rest and recuperate. So make sure that you are planning time off. You will need to take it, so make sure that it's planned in and so that you're still managing your time really effectively. Don't avoid the hard stuff that you don't like. Make sure that anything you find challenging or anything that you find a bit boring, you plan in when you know you're going to be most motivated so that you will get through it and you will give it your full attention. Make sure that you are not cramming. So I know lots of people say, oh, but it's really useful and it's great, and it's actually not. It's numerous studies have shown that that cramming is much less effective than planned, considered revision, and it's also a lot more stressful. If you're leaving everything till the night before the exam, you may potentially not cover everything, and so you'll walk into that exam feeling really tired and really stressed, and so you're not going to perform at your best. Make sure you organise your space. So make sure that the place you are revising in is calm and quiet with no distractions, including no phones. And this is really important, and I'm going to talk about why shortly. Sometimes it helps to go somewhere else. So I know that when I was doing certainly my degree and preparing for my exams for my degree, I used to go and work in the library because even though my flat was quiet, there were too many distractions there. If I was in the library, I couldn't be distracted. I was focused on what I was doing. So most libraries have silent study spaces, certainly all the ones in Hackney do. So please make use of them if you've, for example, got lots of little brothers and sisters running around. So why is it so important not to have your phone with you when you are revising? Well, it's to do with the way your brain functions and the idea of multitasking. So multitasking is a myth. Recent neurological studies have shown that the brain doesn't really do tasks simultaneously as people previously thought. What happens is it just switches tasks really quickly. And each time we move from doing one task to another, there is a stop-start process that happens in the brain. So if you're revising and then you hear a text come in, you answer the text, you come back to your revision, your brain is not still processing your revision, it's switching between these two completely different things. So rather than sort of saving time, what actually happens is that stop-start process of multitasking costs time and it costs you focus. So when you're revising, if you're constantly switching your focus between your revision and your phone, the quality of your revision suffers. And I'm going to give you, if you don't believe me, I'm going to give you a quick experiment you can try yourselves. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to draw 2 horizontal lines on a piece of paper. Okay, then on the top line, write, I am a great multitasker. And on the second line, write the numbers 1 to 20. Easy peasy, probably did it in no time at all. Then what I want you to do is draw another 2 horizontal lines. But this time, I want you to do alternate letters and numbers. So we're going to say, we're going to start with the I, and then we're going to do 1, and then we're going to do A, and then we're going to do 2, and so on. What you will find is, as you continue doing this, it takes you much, much longer to do it the second way than it does the first way. And also, there is a much higher chance you're going to make mistakes, probably mistakes that you don't realise. And that is exactly the same as you using your phone when you should be revising. It is much less effective, it is much less efficient, and there's a much higher danger that you will make mistakes and misremember things. So take your phone away, take it out of the equation while you are revising, and your revision will go much more smoothly. So there are a few other changes to talk to you about. So obviously for you, you've had a really tough last couple of years with the pandemic. So there are a few changes to your exams in the summer. One of them is that there will be advanced information on the topics that will be covered in the exams, or for the majority of subjects. Some subjects have already lost units, which your teachers will have told you about, but there's this advanced release of information on the 7th of February. The reason for this is it's so that it will help you to focus your revision going into your exams as you do your final preparation. Your PPEs will be adapted using this information that comes out on the 7th. Your teachers will tell you what topics you need to revise. Make sure that you're also checking emails as well as them telling you verbally in class. And your teachers will be able to give you full details on any further adaptations to your summer exams when you return from your PPEs. There's also going to be a change to your day. So Year 11 will move to break 1, so your break will be between 10:20 and 10:45, and this will start from next week, from Monday the 7th of February. You're going to have lineups in Central Square after break, and this is so that Mr. Bellinger, myself and other members of staff can deliver daily messages to you. As you go into your exams, there will be more and more messages that we need to communicate to you, and so it's really important that we have a space to do that in. So your tutor obviously will switch from where it is now to 10:45 to 11:10. So what next? Make sure that you are following all of the tips for revision. We will give you blank exam timetables, revision timetables in your tutor next week so that you can get some support in filling them out and planning your time if you need that. Make sure you're talking to your teachers about what you need to revise and what you need to focus on. They will give you as much information as they can prior to the PPEs. If you have any questions or concerns or you're feeling overwhelmed, please speak to your teachers, speak to your dolls, speak to me, and we will do everything we can to help you. There are also excellent websites such as Kooth, which offer support for young people to do with health and well-being that you can access yourself if you prefer to do that. Remember, all things that are worth doing are tough and require a bit of hard work. I know you're going to do brilliantly, and as I said previously, if there's anything on your mind or anything that's worrying you, please talk to someone, because generally speaking there is a solution and we will be able to help. Good luck in February everyone, and if you have any questions please come and see me. Take care.